So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to set up your DSLR booth account. Pretty much what you'll want to do, first things first, hop into the software itself. You're going to want to come right here to new event. We're going to go ahead and label that first guy training. We're going to go ahead and customize these settings. So we're in right here. This is actually going to be the tab. If you just click this settings tab, it will be that one. So this first page is going to be just your stat page showing you how your booth is being used, whether it's texting and emailing, social media sharing, or printing out. I also like to use this print section so I can kind of monitor how much paper I have left so I know when to get more paper. So right here, this booth mode section, this is going to be pretty much how your booth is being used throughout each event. I do like to use photo. Also, I like to check this box, create GIF with photos, just because if I do a GIF, it's going to take a little bit longer time of processing and things like that. So I just find this one a lot easier. And then I also go ahead and throw Boomerang in there just to give people a little bit of a different aspect as well. This right here, this security pin, I like to utilize this if I'm ever, say, leaving a booth at an event, or maybe even if I'm going to grab something to drink or something to eat. I can go ahead and set a security pin and lock it with this feature right over here, and that'll actually cancel out and not allow customers to go ahead and get into your booth or into your computer settings or anything like that. They'll have to put whatever pin in that you made first. So we're going to come over here to do display. This section is pretty much going to just be an aesthetic kind of page. You can just pick whichever color you want, and it'll go ahead and pick this guy over here. The black, let's say, and that's going to be the inside of it. This does not change the look of your picture whatsoever. It just changes the aesthetic of your booth. So right here, the start screen image. This is a section where I would usually like to add either my logo, or if it's a wedding, say like a picture of the couple, things like that. And to do that, you would just simply click into it. And then as long as you have a JPEG or a PNG file, just go ahead and hit add media. And then whatever you do have downloaded to that booth, you will be able to open up and utilize. So once you have it in here, you'll be able to just click on it and then come down here, hit choose, and then it'll appear right in there. For templates right here, it does say, use last open template, but you do also have the option to allow guests to choose from your favorites. So for me, something I like to do is for like weddings, quinceañeras, bar mitzvahs, things like that. What I'll do is I'll make a 2x6 strip and also a 4x6 picture. That way the guests can choose from one or the other. It's a little bit more formal, I feel like, and it just makes it look a little bit better as well. But yeah, we'll leave this one right now on use last open template. This section right here is usually check the guest QR code. I do turn it off though, just because I don't want guests to, be scanning as they're walking by, and then from across the hall they can hit start booth, and that's just something I don't want to happen. So I just go ahead and turn it off immediately. If we go down right here into the countdown section, I usually like to leave my booth at a 554, but I do adjust according to however the guests are reacting to it. So if they're saying it's a little too fast or if it's a little too slow, then I'll just adjust accordingly to whatever my guests are saying. We'll work our way right here to the say cheese image. This is the same thing as a start screen. Pretty much this is just going to pop up right before each picture snaps. Usually what I like to add here is, like a little something funny to get the people laughing, things like that. I'll even throw like little emojis into these guys as well. And it's the same exact process. Add media, find your picture, open once you find it, right here, hit choose, and it'll be here right in there for you. Alrighty, let's go over here to effects. So effects is going to be the beauty filter effect. This one's going to be removing blemishes and smoothing out your skin. I like to utilize this one for each and every event, honestly, but I don't utilize it too much. I usually do it for between a 10 and a 25, just because you can pretty much, you can drastically see the change in people's faces, how much it clears up and things like that. So I like to do it just a little bit so people don't really notice it, but they see how good they're looking still. So if we come right here over to the regular filters, I usually leave them on ask user to choose, just so I'm not adding anything that they wouldn't want on there. And then I'll just go ahead and just pick at least 3 in here. And then now the guest can go ahead and choose from those ones that I selected once their pictures are done taking. Now we work our way right here to this digital props. This is a section I do enable right off the bat just because it does have built-in props. And I feel like the ones that are digital on here, and then the ones that if you have any hard props as well, that those together should pair good enough that you don't have to add any more digital props. This watermark section, this is one that I like to use for like, say like little street fairs, little free events, something like that, just to more get my name out there. Pretty much I'll go ahead and utilize this by just throwing my logo in here, and it'll go ahead and watermark it all across the screen. And then that's just pretty much a free, or not a free, but a way of getting your business out there without getting paid for it. So we go right here to the Boomerang section. This is usually where I would leave my section for Boomerang. GIF, again, I don't touch too much just because it's creating a GIF with the photos. So I just like it to kind of do its own thing with this. I don't touch this, I just touch the Boomerang. We're going to go ahead and hop right over here to Video in 360. This section is not really used at all on my end, at least, just because I don't use video, and then the 360 has its own software and stuff like that. So I usually just leave this guy completely alone. We'll go right here to Virtual Attendant. This section is actually going to pretty much give the ability for your booth to talk to people and let them know, to get ready, to smile. It'll actually even tell them to share their photos, that they're looking good, to pick an effect, things like that. You could change this voice at any time, and you could also customize it to where if you wanted to add your own voice, you could do that as well. But these videos will be playing as long as this checkbox is checked off. So now I'll hop over here to survey. This is a section I don't utilize too much, but if you needed to, you definitely could. It's pretty much just a section where you can ask your guests questions right after their picture are taken while they're waiting for them to print out. For the sharing right here under the sharing section, I usually leave the QR code enabled just because, no Wi-Fi needed. Just it creates itself right off the bat, like super quick. Same with emailing and texting. I leave those on just because it's an easier way to share other than printing, and people have really been liking having the actual picture on their phone rather than having the hard copy of it. But one thing I do not use are Twitter and Facebook, just because it does take a while for them to sign in, post it, and things like that, to where if they're emailing it, texting, or to QR coding it, they're going to have it within a matter of seconds, and then they can just post it straight from there.